Okay, now, I want you to take a careful look at these before you make any commitment, because we're not talking just a couple of hoops and a basketball. You want to reopen the community center, you're talking to staff, insurance, not to mention upkeep.
Okay, fine. It's not going to be cheap. We can make this work.
I'm willing to donate as much as I can.
Hey, you can count Luna and me in. And I'm sure we can get some of the other big money bags in town to kick in.
All right, there's always Todd Manning. Suddenly he's got more money than all of us put together.
Somehow or another, I don't see him giving it away.
Yeah, tell me about it. Knowing Todd, charity's the last thing on his mind.
You wanted to see me, kid?
Yeah, I did about 15 minutes ago.
I was working on an important story for tomorrow's edition.
Oh, really? What, more Elvis sightings? Or more people eaten by aliens?
Look, Mr. Manning, just because you inherited The Intruder doesn't mean you have any idea what sells in a newspaper like that.
Oh, and you do?
Yeah, I know what makes a good story.
And why do you keep printing this garbage?
Lisa, good morning.
Renee, you look terrific.
Thank you. I just had a terrific massage. So, where's your latest better half?
Well, Alex, she's out of town. I figured I'd have a late breakfast, early lunch. Can always count on the food here. But not always on the atmosphere.
Beg pardon?
If they're going to let that kind of trash in here, I will talk to the membership committee. Manning does not belong. And no matter whose bastard son he is, no matter how much money he's got.
Well, at least he's the real thing, unlike David Vickers.
At least Vickers looked like a guy who could afford the place.
Well, maybe he can now that he's married to Dorian.
That is a marriage made in hell. What is with this guy Vickers anyway? I thought he had the hots for Tina.
I think Tina thought so, too.
Renee, explain it to me. What is the deal with my family? First, Vicky leaves Clint. Tina falls in love with nothing but con man, and Cord's gaga over Blair Daimler.
I don't know, darling. Your family does seem to have a knack of choosing wrong partners. I don't know where they got it.
Why, darling, I thought you were already in the shower. Were you hoping that I'd come up and join you? Carlotta! I was detained by a surprise visitor. And, speaking of surprises, look, Tina's very graciously given me my bracelet back.
You called Mrs. Vickers?
Yes, Carlotta. Would you put this in the upstairs safe?
Por supuesto.
And Mr. Vickers says that there's no soap in the shower. Oh, yes. When you come back down, would you bring him a robe, though? Isn't it a shame to cover a body like this?
Okay, Dora, I think it's time to get going.
Toodaloo. Sweetheart, don't divulge any family secrets.
Don't worry.
Tina, thank you so much for stopping by. You have no idea how much I've missed my bracelets.
Bye-bye now.
Goodbye. I'll see you for dinner, sweetheart.
All right. Okay.
You and Dorian were just made for each other.
Tina, forget about Dorian. Why did you return that bracelet? Do you realize that it is worth thousands of dollars?
I don't care what it's worth. It reminds me of you, and I don't want to ever see it again.
Tina, you could have kept the bracelet and forgotten about me.
Maybe Vicky's been able to forget what you've done. And I'll never forget. And I'll never forgive.
I should give that Manning guy some credit. I closed that Omega deal with him today. I got a good price, but I gotta admit, he drove a hard bargain.
He's a curious young man. I was just so glad when he was no longer involved with Rebecca. This could be very interesting to see how he handles all this new money. Oh, Lordy, I have got to get back to work before the lunch crowd shows up.
Renee, I am sure that the palace can survive one lunch hour without you.
Are you suggesting that I'm replaceable?
I'm suggesting you have lunch with me and tell me what is new in your life.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, there's nothing really much new in my life, but I certainly know what's new in yours. I've been reading all those, articles in the Banner.
Can you believe it? My own son hanging me out to dry. Alex and me, we're trying to help this town. He's got us like a couple of carpetbaggers buying our way to the top.
Darling, you wouldn't be this upset with Clint's accusations if you didn't know that they were absolutely true.
Alex has more guts, more smarts, more energy than anybody else ever in that stupid job. Chief liaison for the mayor. What does it matter how she got it?
Asa Buchanan, you will never change, will you?
You don't ever mess with a good thing, honey.
All right, you say you know what makes a good story. Explain this to me. Psychic predicts Loch Ness Monster will terrorize New Jersey shore this summer.
It's a perfectly legitimate story. We have a signed affidavit from the psychic.
Look at this. Love potions from common household cleaners.
You know nothing about how a newspaper works. Those are the kind of stories people like to read.
What kind of people are you talking about, Zenger? According to the Intruder's own research, the average reader is over 40, can barely afford to buy the paper, and once they have, and once they finish with their six-pack, they can't read it either.
That over 40 demographic happens to be the fastest growing segment of the population.
Don't quote statistics to me, Zenger. The Banner's kicking our butt in absolutely every age group, except maybe people who are already dead.
I don't have to listen to this.
No, you do, actually. Because I sign the checks now. And I say that the Intruder is going after a younger crowd now, not a bunch of shut-ins who get their jollies from reading the obituaries.
The Intruder has a solid following.
The Intruder is barely breaking even, which is why there are going to be some changes, starting with this joke of a name.
Look, Mr. Manning, I've edited this paper for over 15 years. I am one of the most respected editors in this state. Now, the last time I checked, you were a college dropout with a rap sheet a mile long. So don't tell me how to run my newspaper. Huh? You leave journalism to the professionals, and you take your inheritance and your attitude, and you go play someplace else. You got that?
Yeah, I got that. Now you get this.
So, what do you think? This community center be saved?
It is gonna take a lot of money.
And a lot of time, but sure, why not?
We gotta love this guy's optimism. I mean, that's what Luna says anyway.
Look, the way I look at it, if we can raise enough to get this thing started, then we can start applying for grants from foundations. We can get corporate sponsorships to keep this thing going. And if it goes well and we get the kids in here, then who knows? Maybe even Mayor McNamara will decide to restore the funding.
Well, seems like one way or another, this is gonna work.
Okay. I like the sound of this.
Okay.
Let us go and take a look at the old and soon-to-be newly opened Lambview Community Center.
Andrew, I need to talk to you.
Well, actually, Dorian, we're on our way out.
Yes, so I see, but it's about Cassie and it's urgent.
Thank you. Look, I know that you don't want anything to do with me, but that does not mean that you had to give the bracelet back to Dorian.
Yeah, and what was I supposed to do? I'll never wear it. Can't even stand to look at it.
You could have sold it and kept the money.
That's exactly the kind of thing you would do, isn't it? Well, I wouldn't stoop to your level. Besides, Cord, my therapist, talked me out of that.
I didn't know you were in therapy.
Did you expect me to just bounce back and be my happy, carefree self after what you've done to me? I'll never be able to love or trust anybody again, thanks to you. I don't know why I'm wasting my breath. You really don't care what happens to me anyway. I just came to give your wife her bracelet and to give you these.
You don't have to do this, Tina.
Take them.
What would I do with them?
I don't care. Give them to your latest conquest. I bet Dorian would love to have a wedding band of her own to match the one that you gave me from Vegas. You remember Vegas, don't you? Where you tricked me into marrying you, and you pretended that you would love me forever. That was one of your best performances. Take them.
I told you I don't want them.
Neither do I. Take them. I believed you. When I looked you in the eye, and you looked me in the eye, and you told me you loved me, I really believed you. Just forget it. I want to get as far away from you as I can.
There's a big difference between you and me. I own the intruder and you don't.
Yeah, right. You got lucky. You were born into the right family. That makes you rich, not smart. So go chase girls in Fort Lauderdale like a nice little rich kid. And stop telling me how to do my job, because I have forgotten more about the newspaper business than you will ever know.
You might be right, Mr. Zenger. But there's one thing that I know about this business that you don't.
And what might that be, Mr. Manning?
That the editor-in-chief of the Intruder just got fired.
You're firing me?
And people say you're stupid.
This is crazy. Without me, you won't have a paper.
I'll take my chances. You take a hike.
Oh, thank you, Neil. You know, Asa, I don't think that Clint means anything personal by this. He's a journalist. He's just trying to do his job.
His job is to report the news, not make a fool of his father. That's not only Clint, Renee. Bo's all over me since Alex took that job.
Well, you know, Alex has gone a bit overboard.
How can you go overboard in a little job with the mayor?
Asa, being liaison to the mayor is not a little job. She also wormed her way onto the hospital board, into the church vestry.
Oh, hold it. So she likes to get in the thick of things. I like that in a person. They want to call it power hungry? I call it ambitious. Relax, Renee. She'll be back after a week of massage and bubble baths. She'll be just like new, all calmed down, providing certain people don't rake her over the coals in the paper.
Uh-oh, I think one of those certain people is coming our way.
Oh, and just when I was gonna kick back and enjoy myself.
I know that Cassie wants nothing to do with me.
Can you blame her?
Andrew, I feel terribly about the way I've treated her.
Uh-huh. Now you want to make amends. Please sit down.
Without Cassie's love, I might as well have nothing.
Do you have any idea how much you hurt Cassie?
I've also been hurt. I lived through that horrendous murder trial. I was sent to death row, condemned to death for a crime I did not commit. And yet, even now that I'm free in the eyes of the law, my daughter keeps treating me as if I'm a terrible person, as if I actually were a murderer.
How do you expect her to treat you? You lied to her, Dorian. You betrayed her.
Don't you think I know how many mistakes I've made? That I've hurt people, especially the people that I love the most?
Then why did you do it? Why? Why did you lie to Cassie?
I wish that I could explain. Let me just say that things are not what they seem to be.
That's hardly an excuse for the way you treated her.
I never intended to hurt anyone, but most especially not Cassie.
But you did. I mean, Dorian, you did. You went away without a word. You made her believe that you were dead. When you finally called her, you lied about where you were. That's not just some little mistake. That is a betrayal. That rocks the foundation of trust. Dorian, I haven't even begun to get into what you did to Joey Buchanan.
Understand this. I never intended to hurt Joe.
Dorian, you never intend to hurt anyone. But you do. You claim that you love Cassie, but you don't even think about her. You don't think about anyone but yourself. Dorian, it hurts. It hurts too much to have someone keep hurting you like that.
So you're saying that Cassie will never forgive me? That I've lost my daughter forever?
I'm saying you have to change. You have to make the changes permanent. Or yes, Cassie will be out of your life forever.
Mother, please. Please don't leave me. Don't leave me with Father. No.
I know you miss your mother, Princess. But it's been a whole year since we lost her, and we have to get on with our lives. Well, don't be scared. You still have me. And I'll always love you. Now, why don't you leave those pretty flowers for your mother and let me take you home? I'm not going to the newspaper today, so we can spend the whole afternoon together. Just the two of us.
This is what you've been waiting for.
ABC Daytime gives you something to talk about with 34 Emmy nominations. Leading the list is General Hospital and All My Children, both nominated for Outstanding Drama Series. Actress nominees include Susan Lucci, Leslie Charlson, Erica Slezak, Rena Sofer, Sidney Penny, and Jacqueline Zeman. Actor nominees include David Canary, Brad Mall, Keith Hamilton Cobb, and Roger Howard. The place for outstanding daytime drama is here, where ABC Daytime gives you something to talk about.
Pa, don't you understand? As a reporter, I'm looking out for the best interests of this city. As your son, I'm looking out for you.
Lambasting me in your paper, how is that looking out for me?
Look, I know that you want to help Alex. I'm just afraid that you're gonna end up regretting helping her get so much power.
The only one with so much power around here is you. Alex is a very sensitive young lady. You got her all frazzled with these horrible stories you're writing about her. I had to send her away to a spa so she could unwind. I hope you're the kind of a son that will back off when she comes home. It's nice seeing you, Renee.
Why can't he see that he's creating a monster?
Oh, come on, Clint. You know Asa. If you push him real hard, he fights back.
Yeah. Well, I got to admit, I was kind of surprised to see you and Paul having lunch.
Well, please don't print anything in your gossip column. We were just having a catch-up. But I have got to get back to the palace.
But wait a minute. If you're not sick and tired of talking to Buchanan men, I'd kind of like to bend your ear a little myself. It's about Vicky.
What are you doing here?
Well, I was enjoying a meal. Care to join me?
Oh, you've got some nerve, you know, coming in here dressed like that. Just flaunting it, aren't you?
You having a bad day, sis? Here, why don't you take a load off? Whatever it is that's eating you, I'm sure we can work it out. And that's what families are for, right?
I'm sorry, Dorian, but for the first time in your life, you may have to accept that you can't have it all. When you pulled this last stunt, you might have blown it.
I'm sorry, Andrew, but I refuse to believe that there's no hope. What is it? What's wrong?
There's someone in the yard. We had some vandalism in the graveyard. It's Vicky.
Vicky?
Yes, Vicky. I wonder if she's all right. Carpenter. Uh-huh. All right, Mrs. Mason, if you could just, please, Mrs. Mason, just slow down and give me all the details, okay?
Vicky? No, Mother. I won't tell. I won't tell. I promise. I won't. Please, good girl. I promise. I won't tell. Promise. God. Another one.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment here on ABC.
Well, it looks like this place has seen better days.
Wow. It's not at all like I remember it.
Yeah, well, probably a lot less cobwebs back in those days. It's going to take a lot of work.
Ah, it's a piece of cake.
Oh, I don't know if I'd say that.
Why not? Max and Luna's place was in worse shape than this, and it took no time to fix it up.
Yeah, our specialty. We bring in a bunch of friends, turn it into a party, and make this place look brand spanking new in no time at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'd say it's a Max and Moody plan.
Well, you know, when we do put our heads together, we can do anything.
All right, dynamic duo, let's get started.
Well, I guess we should just take a look around and see what we're dealing with. No.
Excuse me, sir?
What?
Can I get you anything?
No, thanks. Having a second shadow for crying out loud.
Mr. Vickers?
What is it now, Carlotta?
I'm sorry to bother you, sir. I just thought you might like to know that the mail has arrived.
Well, is there anything for me?
No, sir, just some letters from the bank for Mrs. Lord.
But
Mrs. Vickers.
why are you telling me?
Well, Mrs. Vickers likes for me to tell her when the mail comes. Excuse me.
Nobody's gonna hurt you. All right? Everything is all right. No, something bad happened. Bad. Nothing bad is gonna happen. Okay? You're safe now.
I won't tell, Father. I won't tell. I'll be a good girl. I won't tell. I promise.
Of course, you're a very good girl.
Don't hurt me.
I'm not gonna hurt you. Listen to me. I won't let anybody hurt you. Shh. I'll protect you. You're a very, very good girl. What's your name, sweetheart? am I going to do now?
You're not going to do anything. Take your hands off of me.
Jean, welcome back.
There is nothing for you to do. And there is nothing for you to worry about.
Oh, nothing for me to worry about. Excuse me, I was just holding a crying, frightened little girl in my arms. A little girl who looks an awful lot like Vicky Carpenter. What would have happened if somebody had caught us?
Well, no one did. Look, I would suggest you leave immediately.
I'm not going to go anywhere.
Vicky? Are you all right?
Andrew! Yes. Oh, yes, I'm just fine. Thank you.
You sure you're all right? You seem upset.
You know, I hadn't even intended to come here today, but I was spring cleaning at home, and I found this doll. And I remembered that I had held the doll at my mother's funeral, and so I thought I would come to the mausoleum, and I got so emotional when I got here.
I understand. I get pretty worked up myself when I think about Dad.
Of course you do. I think being here just affected me more than I had anticipated, that's all.
Do you want to come back to the house and freshen up and just pull yourself together?
Oh, you're very kind. No, thank you very much, Andrew. I'm fine, and I think I just need a few moments alone.
Of course. We should go.
Yes, if that's what Vicky wants.
Oh, it is. I show you. Yes.
Very well, then. Goodbye, Vicky, and goodbye, Andrew.
That woman is so unnerving. I think I was fine until she showed up.
Are you sure you want to be alone? You seem like you might want to talk to somebody.
Oh, Andrew, you're so sweet. You always want to help. No, I'm fine. Really, I'm fine. I just need to be alone. I know you understand.
I do. I'll be inside if you need me.
Okay. Thank you.
Jean.
I thought I had asked you to leave.
I am not going anywhere. We need to get a few things straightened out first.
Can we help you?
Yeah, man. What are you doing here, man?
Well, man, we were talking about fixing this place up, maybe reopening this community center.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe we don't want you here, bro. Maybe we don't need you.
Hey, we're not trying to move in on your territory. We just want to clean this place
Save
up.
it.
Well, those are just the kind of kids hopefully we can help when we get this thing started.
Well, let's go tell Andrew it's a go.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'll be right there.
Excuse me, you okay, Marty?
Go ahead, we'll catch up. What's wrong?
I don't know. Just seeing that kid being here again.
Brought up some memories, huh?
Yeah, makes me remember how I got here in the first place. I was busted for shoplifting.
You were shoplifting?
Yeah. Oh, yes, I was. I don't know, I was angry, mixed up, lonely. Played the bad girl to the hilt, and I got a lot of attention. That's why they sent me here, to help with the suicide hotline.
Oh, and I bet you just loved that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. You kidding? This is the last place I wanted to be. I was way too cool for a place like this. So I gave the volunteers a hard time, caused a lot of problems.
You were mean to people?
You-
I don't see that.
Oh, you have no idea. Good thing you didn't know me back then.
Well, I don't know about that. Maybe I would have been the one to straighten you out, huh?
I don't think anyone could have. But, well, after a while, I saw a lot of kids get help here and got some myself. I think that's why I hate to see it so empty like this.
Hey, don't you worry about it, all right? Because once we get this thing started, this place ain't gonna be empty for much longer.
Oh, just stop it. You don't want to be part of my family any more than we want you in it. I don't even know why you and Blair are hanging around Lambview at all.
Well, why leave Lambview? Such a warm, friendly town.
Why should anybody be friendly to you? After all the things you've done to hurt people around here?
You're right. I'm not nearly as saintly as you are. You tried to cheat me out of $28 million.
What? You should be thanking me. I'm the one who told you about being the real heir in the first place.
You're right. I was so thoughtful of you, sis. Come on. If David hadn't dumped you for Dorian, you'd be in Spain right now spending my inheritance.
Your inheritance? Oh, please, what a joke. You know I should have gotten at least half of that inheritance. I'm just as much Victor and Irene's child as you are.
You're right. You got royally screwed over by dear old Dad. But hey, them's the breaks.
Look, you don't want to be here, and nobody wants you here. So why don't you just make everybody happy and go away?
You want to know why I'm still hanging around this town, sis? I mean, you really want to know?
Vicky's doing some real strange things lately. Things I can't explain.
Like what?
Well, like changing her whole story about Dorian confessing to murdering Victor Lord.
You know, I have to admit, I was really surprised when Vicky told me that Dorian had confessed. I mean, Dorian might be capable of murder, but I just can't believe that she would admit to it.
Yeah, well, Vicky was adamant. She insisted that Dorian had spilled her guts to her. And now, with David Vickers turning out to be a fraud, Bo in a position to finally put Dorian away for good, and Vicky, she retracts her whole story. Now, Renee, that doesn't make sense.
Maybe it makes more sense than we think.
What do you mean?
You and I both know Vicky really prides herself on being fair. Maybe she felt she couldn't really testify against Dorian unless she was absolutely sure that she was guilty.
But she was sure.
Something must have happened to Vicky that day to make her change her mind about what Dorian told her.
That's another thing. Everything about Vicky has changed lately. Now, I can't put my finger on it, but she's different.
Clint, darling, she has been through so much. Losing Sloan, that business with David Vickers, finding out that Todd Manning was her brother. I mean, that would take a terrible toll on anyone.
I know. I've tried to help. She just shuts me out. Hell, the other day she told me that she wasn't my wife anymore. I should worry about my life and forget about hers.
Ouch.
Yeah. Well, at first I tried to rationalize it. I told myself that, well, she'd been through hell lately. She had every right to blow up. But it doesn't sit right with me. No matter what has happened before, Vicky and I have always been able to relate as friends. Good friends.
Clint, it's very hard when things change. People change. You may not like what I'm about to tell you, but Vicky may be right. It may be now, Clint. I know how much you care about her. But maybe the only thing that you can do for her now is to let her go through this by herself.
But she's always been such a big part of my life for such a long time.
I know, Clint, I know. But maybe it's time, finally, to let go.
This place doesn't look that shabby. All I need is a few coats of paint, a little elbow grease. Be as good as new.
Yeah. Little, patch up the walls, little paint, and this community center will be back in business.
Yes.
You know, I'm actually getting excited to have these kids back in here having fun playing basketball.
I know, and we need to get that league started up, too, huh?
Yeah, here, give me that.
What, you play?
What, you think I can't play just because I'm not a boy?
No, you just don't look like the slam dunk type.
Oh, well, then you have no imagination, my friend.
Really?
Yes.
All right, here, Saybrook. Let's see what you can do. See if you can drive past me. Oh, that means see if you can make a shot.
Oh, I know what that means.
All right, come on.
Oh, shoot, I just forgot.
What? Fell for the oldest trick in the book. But let's see what you can do on defense, huh? You want to see?
All right.
All right.
See if you can get past me, Moody.
All right. Go between your legs.
No.
Wait a second. I forgot something.
Oh, you're right. Like, I'm going to fall for the same trick.
It's no trick.
There's only one reason why I'm sticking around this miserable town. It's because I have some scores to settle with the pathetic jerks that have been looking down their nose at me since the day I got here.
Wait a minute. So what, a sick sort of revenge or something?
Hey, I just want what's coming to me. And I'm gonna get it. Now that I've got the intruder and Blair has Melodor.
Oh, that's great. A tabloid rag in a non-existent cosmetic company. We'll see how far that gets you.
That's right, you'll see. Before too long, people are gonna be looking up to me around here.
Yeah. And what makes you think you'll be able to live up to this fantasy?
Because I'm Victor Lord's son. The Lord of the Banner. I've got his genes. And just like him, I'm gonna own this town. And everybody in it.
Baxter. Come on. God. There's got to be an easier way to figure out how much you're worth, Dorian.
Can I help you find something?
Yeah, I'm looking for a spare set of house keys. I've lost mine.
I think I have a spare set in the kitchen. I'll get them for you.
Oh, thanks. That'd be great. I'd really appreciate that.
That woman has got to go.
I really have nothing to say to you, Dorian, and if I did, I wouldn't say it here.
Where is the diary?
Oh, why do you keep harping?
Where is it? You promised me that you were going to destroy it. Oh. You're keeping it.
Safely hidden. Little insurance policy. Only I know where it is.
Only you aren't always only you. You better face it. You're having a lot of trouble controlling when all the other alters are surfacing, aren't you?
No, I most certainly am not. I am Victoria's gatekeeper.
Not the very good gatekeeper when a little girl like Princess can get past you.
You don't know what you're talking about. And you have nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about. I was just holding a terrified little girl in my arms, okay? And very recently, Tommy showed up, broke into the police precinct, nearly killed somebody. Come on. What's going to happen if Vicky suddenly shows up? How is she going to react when she finds out what you have done with her life?
The others tend to be a little more feisty. Victoria is much easier to keep down.
And why is Victoria easier to keep down than the others?
Because we all want to protect her.
All of you are not capable of protecting her.
Wrong, Dorian. Wrong. Nothing is more important to me than making sure that Victoria is safe.
All right, Jean. I know that you are doing everything that you can, but it's just not enough anymore. Victor hurt Vicky very badly. And the memory of what he did to her as a child keeps rising to the surface. In the form of you, in the form of Tommy, in the form of Princess, and God knows how many others. You cannot control them anymore, Jean. You need help. You need my help.
That's nonsense. The last thing I need is your help.
Really? Well, you're gonna get it, Jean, whether you want it or not.
this is Charles Gibson.
And Joan London tomorrow, efforts to improve relations between Jews and African Americans.
Plus Republican frontrunner Bob Dole on Good Morning America.
Tomorrow here on ABC.
There is only one man that owns my heart.
Like a moth to the flame.
This is grossly unfair manipulation, Lucy.
He's addicted to her love.
You're talking to a man who is being driven systematically out of his mind.
General Hospital, ABC.